Welcome back to our course Selling Value Instead of Price. In this chapter we'll talk about the concept of value selling. But what it is about, how can you use it really? So far we had the notions about value selling, we had the relevance of using value selling instead of pricing discussions, but how can you put it in practice? How does it work? Let's dig deeper on this, okay? So value selling is of course a sales technique. It's important, even if it's not here mentioned, that the open relation with your customers, building up a good relationship, an open relationship, is very important to have this approach. If your customer is not very open, if you don't have a very good relation, or if you just have a very formal relation, it's going to be tough to tackle a value selling approach. Because in order to tackle value selling, you need to know their business, you need to know their hurdles, you need to know how they work, what are their customers, what are their struggles, so that you can come up with value proposals. So value selling is of course detaching yourself from competition and from the very frustrating pricing discussions. If you look around the notes that we have here, you'll understand it, and I'm sure that you relate with your day-to-day business. Then the question arises, but how much is it value? How much can I value it? How much will the customer value it? One thing important to bear in mind is you have to think from your customer perspective. First of all, how much would he value this or that feature? And of course you can leverage on that afterwards. But the importance, if you look at the picture here, is that value can push price. And maybe you're bringing something that is not very valuable at your eyes, or doesn't mean a big cost for you, but can have a major impact on the end price. So don't sell only on price. Try to find something else to base your proposals. Try to find something to hold on to explore. And for this, it's very important that customers recognize their struggles, recognize their areas that they want to improve, or recognize some of their hurdles. So you need to ask questions. You need to, first of all, prepare yourself, come along with a good setting of questions, or be very attentive when you talk to your customers. And don't listen only to what they say, but try to understand what it is written between the lines. And don't listen only to the buyer. If you are able to talk to anyone else in the organization, try to understand or try to gather information that the buyer is not passing. This is really, really important. Many times the buyer is a gatekeeper, just tells you what he wants, just tells you what he wants you to know, and is hiding information for you, because he knows information is power, and with information you can explore areas that he would not like to see explored. So asking value selling questions is really, really important. Understand your customer needs, build up relation, check opportunities, anticipate. This is really a good point. Anticipate what might be the reluctance of your customer, what might be the reason that they will not want or accept this or that situation. Anticipate and ask and listen, always listening, very attentive. Hope this makes sense. Again, if something isn't very clear, you can go back and see again how all this fits together. Another set of examples of how to structure these value selling questions. It's not about putting the customer against the wall. It's not about threatening. It's not about showing off. Remember, if you want to become a strategic partner, it's about building up the relation, building up trust, and having a shared vision that both companies want to work together. The shared vision is extremely important, because then you know that you've got a customer that's not only for one shot or for a short period, but for a longer period. They see you as a solution provider, and that's extremely important. Customers, of course, in the end, they need to pay invoices, and they will have to have a price. That's common sense. But the key point here is the rapport and trust is crucial in a long-term business relationship, as well in personal, but we're talking here about business.